Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof, and I'm back again with another video. And in this one, I want to clarify, for those of you that have concerns about this, which I've not really seen any. I mean, maybe like one or two, but most of you guys are like, thank you very much for giving us, news and speculation on Return to Arkham and those kind of things. But I just want to make sure everybody knows this is not going to, this channel is not going to devolve into a speculation on new games that we have no information about. However, there is a good amount of evidence that suggests that WB Montreal, the studio that made Batman Arkham Origins, and also a very large studio, might I add you, which is one reason that I think it's, that adds to the evidence that we have, which is not mentioned in the article or the Reddit post I'm about to read to you. And the person posting the Reddit is by no means an industry insider that has inside information, that this is what they're doing. However, it is a source, a compilation of very convincing evidence once combined together that WB Montreal, one of their two games, of course they have two, so one of their two games they're developing is, Superman, not Arkham, but it is a possibility they're still developing Arkham, because I'll point this out to you as well. Games developed, a studio, this is by the way, a studio of 400 people. Rocksteady is a studio of 120, it's approximately 4 times the size. Okay, so the biggest game that they've made after Batman Arkham Origins, which was made in 2013, is Lego Legends of Chima Online, which is an iOS only game. It comes out for Mac and iOS. Okay, so it's for iPad, iPhone, and like Mac computers, basically. Okay, so that's like a iTunes, iStore, whatever the hell they call it, exclusive game. Okay, so not that big of a deal. And then you have right here Batman Arkham Knight Batgirl Matter of Family, which is a 40-minute DLC, which has little to no plot. It's mostly just combat waves. Okay, so TBA Untitled game. There's actually 2 of Untitled games, and let's see what it has here on the... Yeah, they're working on a new open-world action IP. That was in July 2015. They've been working on this game. Whatever DC Comics game that I personally think is going to be a Superman game released 2016, that's going to be announced at E3 and then released late 2016. If any quote worthy, if anybody wants to quote me and then come back on June 13th and try to get me or say I'm wrong, then that's my quote, is that at E3 we learn about the Superman game developed by Warner Brothers Montreal that's been in development since 2013, which corresponds with the day or the date in which a Man of Steel movie was made. Now, they were expecting Man of Steel to do better than it did. It only made about $600 million. They were expecting it to be a little bigger than that. So they were maybe expecting the Superman movie to be a little bigger. Remember that the first Arkham game was developed in 2009, which is a year after The Dark Knight came out, the biggest superhero movie up to that point, pretty much, in terms of, maybe 1989 was bigger. That movie was massive, okay, we all get that. Okay, so that, 1 year later, and then now, 2013, they started development of the Superman game. My speculation, I'll get into the sources of that very soon. So that's, you guys want to see the sources, so let's get right into it. WB Montreal, again, this is not an industry insider. This is somebody that has compiled and done extensive research and compiled little tidbits of evidence that, once they are conglomerated, I think are very convincing. And that's the only reason I would make this video. I would never make a video just to clickbait you into something that's not relevant. I'm only making this because I think that this is some very germane stuff here. Okay, so let me just zoom in and make sure we can get everything in here. Okay, very good. Okay. WB Games Montreal Superman game, Everything I Know. Okay, 4 months ago, I had made something similar to this, and he talks about. We're just going to go ahead and read through all of this. It's fairly lengthy, but it's very good stuff. Back in July, there was a supposed leak for a Superman game rumored to be developed by WB Games Montreal. There is honestly substantial evidence showing that the Man of Tomorrow should be next in DC's ongoing run of games. The Arkham game started after the Nolan trilogy came along, which is what I told you a little bit earlier, and providing Batman with a growth in popularity. And I believe the Man of Steel's release in 2013 helps the odds of Superman getting a game, which is the same year that Arkham Origins production ended and the Superman game's production started, if that is indeed what they're making. By no means as well am I trying to tell you that this is official confirmation, this video. I do think it's very convincing, and you can see we've got a good bit to go, so it should be enjoyable for you guys to look through. Okay, before I get onto the rumor leaks in July, I want to say that on WB Montreal's site, it states the following, that we're working on 2 DC Comics games. So this is only one of them, and I do not think that both are Superman games. That's my honest opinion, though. When game developers are working on a project, they usually start pre-production on their next concept not long before their current release. That would be Batman Arkham Origins. Meanwhile, WB Montreal has been working on something since Origins, and given how that game ended, it's likely Suicide Squad But we know they're working on 2 AAA DC titles. So this guy's saying that Suicide Squad ties into Arkham Origins. Not sure how much I buy that. I want to focus on the Superman for now. That's his speculation, though, and that's fair. But we know they're working on 2 AAA DC titles. We know at least one of them noted a preference. Did I skip a line? Is an open world action game, and they've confirmed with job listings in June last year. And the job listings also noted a preference for applicants to be familiar with the Unreal Engine 3, which hints at the possibility of using the Unreal Engine 4. I don't know anything about engines or any of that stuff, so I'm not even gonna, I don't know. Okay, we also know that at least one of the games is on next-gen systems only, which I think the Superman game should be. If Arkham Knight is on next-gen only, because basically what happens is, if you have a game that's on last-gen, we saw this a little bit with Black Ops 3, the next-gen title is prohibited in what it can do. It's limited by the last-gen. It has to be somewhat similar, so I do want the games to be both on next-gen. Initially, there was a picture that popped up on Twitter, Kal-El Superman, and it's kind of a description of him, and you can see it's on Xbox One or 360. Let's see what he says about this. Rumors have been flying around. Get it, very funny. Not. Okay, and many assumed it was fake until this GIF of the same picture brought forth further controversy. GIF, whatever. Oh my god. Whoa. What is that? That's pretty cool. I've not seen that before. Okay, it's a little, let's keep looking at this. I don't know if that's from another game. Let's keep looking. Soon after this, there was concept art that leaked, seemingly tied to the game. The date shown up from February of this year, 2016, meaning it's possible they've been on the title for 6 months or so now. And if you look at this picture, look what it says up here. WB Games Montreal, Superman suit, pre-opening battle, March 10th, 2016. Project Superman. It's crazy, and this art looks just like it did in the other video. Okay, Braniac concept art. Let's take a look at this, and you can see client WB Games Montreal, Superman, Braniac, February 16th, 2015. So maybe that last one was 2015, and that makes sense. They've been working on the game since 2013. Now he explains here. Let's go back and I hate that you have to go back. A week or so later, and you can see that this concept art is done by a different studio. Like they're sending it to the client is WB Games Montreal, so they are a different studio, and that studio's name is Game On Audio. No, that's not right. Where is it? No, it might be Game On Audio, but you can see like WB Games Montreal exports those pictures to somebody else, and then that other company lists as their client. So anyway, it might have been the marketing team, I'm not sure. Anyway, a week or so later, a LinkedIn account, essentially an online resume for a freelancer named Kirian Turan, had been updated, showing what he'd been working on. The information says that he'd been troubleshooting the repair of the 3D facial rig of the upcoming Superman video game for Game On Audio. Now, who is Game On Audio? Game On Audio is a motion capture audio company that has worked on games like Halo 4, Assassin's Creed, and Batman Arkham Origins. And by the way, they did it for Arkham Knight as well. I researched that. So Game On Audio does the audio and stuff for Arkham games and troubleshooting and repair for a 3D facial rig for the upcoming Superman game. This is the mocap actor for Superman in the WB Montreal game, based off what we can see here. Here's the picture of the profile because the bits regarding Superman and Game On Audio were removed from it. And here it is. Okay, here we go, and we can take a look down here. Troubleshooting and repair of the 3D facial rig for the upcoming Superman game. Oh, this guy's in so much trouble. Here's some of the things that he worked on. 3D for nationwide US broadcast, and he's done mostly small things, but he's done motion capture for the upcoming WB Montreal game. You could tell that he's not a video game guy. You could, Nickelodeon, and he probably isn't kind of aware of the secrecy surrounding it. We saw that with some other leaks as well. So, so not long after this concept art had been leaked, Superman Doomsday and a bigger one that also included Braniac. The concept art is done by someone named Xavier Howlett, who is a Canadian freelancer. He had made a DeviantArt account and posted the concept art, but later removed it. It should also be noted that in the picture is a smaller piece of concept art between Superman and Braniac. From what I've been able to do, it appears to say Aerial Concept Candor, which we see what looks like Superman above the city, blasting one of the two ships with heat vision. So let's take a look. There is the Superman suit. And does it say that right there? Yeah, Xavier Howlett. Okay, so apparently that's the guy who did some of the concept art, like the initial concept art for the game. And let's go back right here. Doomsday concept. Let's take a look at Doomsday. Interesting take on him. I like it, though. He kind of looks like Swamp Thing in the face to me, honestly, a little bit. I like that. Concept art of all three, and here is all three combined. And you can see in the bottom right, we have the stamp WB Games Montreal. So, you know, you take this with a grain of salt in terms of the concept art. That's definitely, I guess somebody could have... Oh, crap, I just exited out. Crap. Okay, hold up one second. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I closed out. That was pretty stupid on me. Okay, if you're wondering what the text over the photo could be about and who is Robic, after doing some research, the rubric that is the image is likely for is a company called Robic. It's an intellectual property firm located in, of course, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which is where WB Games Montreal is located. In December 2014, a NeoGAF user known as Verendus, whatever the hell that is, told us that Superman would be making his triumphant return to video games in the years to come. That was in 2014, after they'd been working on the game for about a year or so. That is WB Montreal, because God knows it didn't take them 3 years to make the Batgirl DLC. Didn't take them, even then, it didn't take them a full year to make that damn Lego game on PC. This is a studio of 400 people, 4 times the size of Rocksteady. They've been working on this game for a long while, and you'll see once we get details of the game at the bottom of this page, it's an expansive product in terms of what you can do. A large free roam, like larger than Arkham Knight, way larger, free roam in Metropolis. You'll see what we mean there once we get down to it. So, it makes you stop and think. Let's take a look here. Okay, so here's just some of the things that he's talking about. We'll get into a little bit of that in the middll. Though I found it dubious, 4chan user Fudu Step made a post with the following information supposedly regarding the game. 2 pieces of music they claimed from the game. Now, let me actually unplug my speaker. This is apparently music in the game. I don't know if you can hear it. No, you can't. I think I have to turn my mic around here. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like Superman. It could be fake. It could be fake. It sounds like Superman. I don't know. Okay, so take that with a grain of salt as well, but that apparently is music from the game. That's just like kind of like the main menu type music, nothing too big, low quality stuff. They say it's made by WB Games Montreal. This is a whole nother source reporting this. This is Fidu Step that's reporting this, and they apparently have music from the game. The game is run on Unreal Engine 4. The game is said to have a huge open-world metropolis. No playing as Clark Kent. Nerf Superman. They say he's around TAS. Is that the Amazing Spider-Man? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. I guess nerfed in the sense that, I mean, otherwise Superman would, be way too easy to play a game. You don't really have any issue taking people out. So, semi-destructible environments, kind of like Arkham Knight, and you can apparently lose health and fly towards the sun, not into space, but upwards, and regain it while obtaining increased strength. That's really cool. That's really cool. Lastly, we have Rocksteady's numerous Easter eggs and references to Superman and the Arkham Knight. So this is just all of the Easter eggs that you know if you've played the game, and Lex Luthor references. There's all kinds of Easter eggs in the game, Thug Talk, and that's not like codename, the thugs talking amidst each other, okay? And after New Year's, WB Games Montreal had posted on January 3rd via their Facebook page, I honestly don't recall, I wish I had screenshots, that the caption which informed them had some serious surprises for us this year. I saw this. I didn't get a screenshot or anything, but I do remember seeing this. It was removed within a day of being posted. I would personally expect something at or before E3. I would say at, not before. At E3. The thing before E3 is Return to Arkham, which comes out before E3. It comes out on the Friday before, okay? Though it could be reaching, WB Games Montreal posted a picture of knowledge sharing session they were having with Superman in the background. Coincidence, you decide. I haven't seen this. What the hell is this? And URL expired. Okay, whatever. I think, was that the event that we thought that maybe like there was an Arkham Knight sequel? Maybe that's what. Okay, anyway. I didn't really want to post this, but I'm throwing whatever I have. They liked a comment on their Facebook page where someone talked about it, hoping to have a Superman game. Superman game confirmed. Okay, no, okay, that's kind of reaching. Please be a Superman game, and WB Montreal liked it. Okay, come on. But then again, they didn't like any of the other ones about the Arkham saga, so you never know. I mean, the famous voice actor, okay, this is really big as well. The famous voice actor Nolan North has reportedly said in an interview, this is important, that he's working on a big project with WB. The article states the following: North is currently keeping details on his next big game close to the vest, only adding that starring in the game will be another 10 years of my life. 10 years. That's like Kevin Conroy with the Arkham games. 10 years. That's overall 3 games. That's insane. And again, what other games does WB have confirmed? Besides the 2 DC titles and a Rocksteady title, they have 3 DC games coming out. Nolan North is working on one of them, and the most likely is that this one, because he's talking about it. If it were so far in the future, he wouldn't be talking about it. So the Superman game, is Nolan North playing Superman? He played Penguin in the Rocksteady games. He's familiar with this. I think it's certainly likely, and he worked with Uncharted 4, but that's done now, okay? So, and there's no Uncharted games after this as far as I'm aware, and he's not working on that for 10 years. He's certainly not working on Lego Star Wars. He's probably not working on Skyrim for a decade, so what else could it be? Probably a Superman trilogy. That's certainly reasonable, don't you think? And is it possible that Rocksteady and WB Montreal are making a Superman game, much in the same way that both WB Montreal and Rocksteady made a Batman game? I don't know. Nolan is known for voice acting many characters. He has actually voiced the likes of Superman in some DC animated films, so he's voiced Superman before in Young Justice. He's done the voice of Superman before. And I think that Nolan North is playing Superman in these games. We have seen some hints at one or both of their games being announced this year. I would say one. Don't get too excited, okay? Because even though they are a studio of 400 and they have divided production up into 2 different teams, and I still don't think it's going to be both games coming out this year. That's a little much. But I think one of them is, absolutely, and I think it's a Superman game. That's my honest prediction, though. If I had to place a bet, this is his speculation, I'd say we'll definitely hear something at E3, I agree with him, regarding at least one of their projects. I would expect a late 2016, early 2017. I would go late 2016 here because that's prime time for games, and a Superman game is going to be big if they're going to do it this way, and they've been working on it for 3 years. It's going to be massive. This is possible because there have been 32 months since their last project released. Yeah, 3 years basically. Just for comparison, Arkham Knight was announced 29 months after City released. If my math is right, we're currently 29 months since Origins. That was last month, okay? Then there's the time after the announcement that leads up to release, which could range from something like 6 months or more. Those 6 months puts us at 38 months, which is over 3 years. WB Games Montreal has roughly 400 employees. That's over 3 times what Rocksteady has, almost 4 times. So this is... this is definitely possible. Arkham Knight had an original release date for October 4, 2014. That would have been 3 years, including pre-production. Arkham City was made in 2 years. Okay, and this studio is 4 times the size of Rocksteady. So if Rocksteady can make Arkham City, the best comic book video game of all time, in 2 years, what can a studio of 400 do? Leaves you thinking, right? Basically, and this game's going to be bigger than all the Arkham games from what we've seen. We saw a massive open world game. You can fly up to the sun and regenerate health. There's nothing like that in the Arkham games in terms of depth. So, let's see, where were we? There have been 3 years, including pre-production. It was delayed and released June of the following year, which puts it at roughly 40 months with a smaller team. Basically, I'm saying we should be hearing something about one of their games soon. And he's absolutely right. There you have it, folks. The supportive evidence that points towards Superman starring in our next game from WB Games Montreal, which includes, by the way, he's cheesy. This guy's cheesy. Up, and away. Okay. So, whether it be voice actors, we had 2 separate voice actors, whether it be Nolan North talking about he's going to be committed to a new project for a decade, a WB Games project specifically. What WB Games massive project are they working on for the next decade? I don't know. I mean, he's worked with the Arkham games before. He's voiced Superman before, so he's in that realm. He's in that world. Rocksteady might have suggested to him that he voiced the Penguin. He can do all kinds of different voices. If you haven't seen it, look him up. He's really impressive, just like Troy Baker. Just magical, voice actors. There you have it. This is a lot of evidence. I'll link it in the description below. It is little bits. There's nothing that really blows you because, even the concept art. Well, you could doubt that. You could say, well, that might not be legit. You could look at that voice actor, and I guess you could say maybe the voice actor was mistaken, that he was doing something that he wasn't, or lied to. I guess, there is little bits, and you can doubt some things in here, and there's nothing, again, that's like, oh, they're definitely making a Superman game in here, but this is a lot of evidence that once it conglomerates, I think a lot of people are really, myself included, looking at this and saying, this is convincing. This is a lot of evidence, and even more so, the voice actor. I think the voice actor leak, you could tell the guy was like not in tune as to, this is supposed to be like a big secret type thing. That's a big thing as well. And all the references in Arkham Knight, it's certainly pointing this way. It's certainly pointing this way in the fact that Arkham Knight or Arkham City came out a year after The Dark Knight, and now we have Man of Steel came out in 2013. That's when they started production on the Superman game. So take it for what you will. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that this is, all of this conglomerated together? To me, I'm fairly convinced. I'm over 50%. Otherwise, I would have thought that Rocksteady was the one making the Superman game. But this is some good stuff here. Okay, the concept art and everything. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is not official, as I said, but I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep tuned for all Batman Return to Arkham news, all Telltale Batman news, and all things DC games and Marvel if they decide to make one. Yes, a Spider-Man game, please come. Okay, hope you all have enjoyed. My name is Slikmof, and we'll see you in the next one.